Okay, Jim and potentially Patrick, both of you guys, this video is for the two of you. And this video is on the carburetors that I pulled out of Jim's SV650. These are the carburetors linked together with this bridge piece here. I wanted to make this video for the two of you guys because first time pulling these carbs out of this bike, for me, I believe. And the reason I believe that is because I made a discovery about this particular bike that I guess I just took for granted. Here it is. I'm just going to remove the carbs from the picture for a quick second here. And in the bowl here, you'll probably see there's a couple of blobs. Now, let me just clean my hands off a little so I could zoom in here. These blobs, yeah, right here. These blobs, that's water. There's water in your gas, Jim, and that is probably why your bike is giving you such a hard time running with any consistency. Is you can see how the blob, there's a wave of gasoline that rolls back and forth, but look at how the blob disperses and comes apart. If we gather it all up just down here in one edge like that, you can see how the water goes right to the very bottom and the gasoline floats on top. So typically this amount of water that I have removed from the carbs will actually stay in the carbs. It'll stay at the very bottom of your float bowl. This is your float bowl, which is really nice and clean. And I'll explain why this is clean while there's obviously dirt, AKA water, in your gas. What I did with this set of carbs was on the bike, with the carbs on the bike, put them back in the picture here, is I opened up the drain bolt here and I put a syringe on this nozzle here and essentially filled this float bowl with liquid carb clean and just allowed the jets, which are these guys down here, I'll zoom in a little bit, allowed the jets to actually soak in a perfectly sealed, built with purpose chamber for carb clean to sit in. And it sat in there for a couple of days because it took a couple of applications. Every day I'd come in and check it, and this green, yucky, gushy schmutz would come out of there. And I'd put another syringe in, wait another day or two, another syringe, another day or two, until eventually the jets end up looking really nice. And of course, the float bowl looks really clean as well, because this is where the majority of the carb clean would go. However, the jets look really nice on this side. And I'm just going to get my carb kit out of my toolbox and get to the jet removing wrench. I think this one's probably too small. That's a 7, not going to work. So we're going to go to an 8. Shooby-doo-wah. There we go. I'm going to spin this guy out of here. And the inside probably looks really good as well. So can't really see much in that abyss down there, but there's the jet. Actually looks really good. These dirt marks are the dirt on my hands transferring onto the jet. So we'll put that aside, and we're going to zoom in a little bit here, wipe my hands. Get on the screen, zoom in here. All right, and we're actually looking really good. But now that we are zoomed in, I'm just going to turn this so that you can see. Remember earlier, or a minute ago, I mentioned that I made a discovery in your carburetors. Well, this is it. This, my friend, underneath this tamper-proof plug is what that's called, is an air-fuel mix screw. And I'm just going to put the float bowl lid back on here. That. Okay. So with the lid back on, obviously you don't have access to the jets because they're inside the float bowl, but there is access to the air fuel mix screw once that tamper-proof has been removed. So I don't know what this bike is, 98, 99, something like that, 2001, I'm not sure. This tamper-proof has been here the whole time. Now, the tamper-proof plug is inserted by the manufacturer for the destination of the country in which the bike is destined. So, for example, this tamper-proof plug would have a air fuel mix screw turn out for air into the fuel system for California on the particularly lean side, because they want the bike to be cleaner. But here in Canada, instead of being clean, did have it, not turned out as much because Canada's emission standards are a lot lower. In other words, we can make dirtier air because there's fewer of us around here. So in terms of these carbs being tuned properly, if you've ever had these carbs tuned by someone in the past, they may have synchronized the carbs, but they didn't actually do an air-fuel mix screw because the tamper-proof is still in here from all those years ago. So that's my discovery. That's my what the hell have I discovered here is same is true on the other side. Let's flip this one over and zoom in. You see the tamper-proof is right there. Whoops, it's the flipable lid. There's the tamper-proof plug right there, center screen. So I got to remove that and remove this float bowl and get in here and see to it that all passageways are clear and everything is good. And of course, move this out of the way. Get whatever water is left in there out of there. Now, the water. You heard me tell you that I put a syringe full day after day after day after day into the carbs to clean them, and then empty that dirty schmutz out of the carbs daily to put new carb clean in. So if that's the case, then how did all that water get in there? Well, the fuel supply for these carbs is your gas tank. So there's water in your gas tank. And so what's happening is I thought I could get away with removing what was in the carbs and then running the gas tank through the carbs, but obviously that was a stupid move because there's water in the gas tank and it just basically replenished the carbs with water-filled gas. No sooner did I remove it, it went right back in there. So here we are on a carb clean, making sure that what I'm talking about is absolutely accurate, and it is. And once I've done the carbs, I'm going to go to the gas tank, remove all the gas, remove all the water, get it as clean as possible, put it all back together, put the bike back in your bum, and you'll be able to ride it for a little bit before you sell it. And that is the video. I am sorry this took so long. Jeepers.